What's up, guys? Welcome to your weekly reading for January 28th to February 3rd. All right, so before you go ahead and skip forward to your sign, I just wanted to make a few announcements. First and foremost, I'm currently working on a website that'll be ready to launch in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So what that means is my Etsy shop where I'm selling readings is going to be closing down. And in preparation of that, I marked down all my readings to 25% off as sort of a clearance sale. And thank you for you guys for sticking in with me. So in March, those will all be moved over to my website. So if you're interested in that, check it out. That link is gonna be below. Also, in honor of Valentine's Day, I'm offering mini love readings. So if you're interested in seeing what's going on for you in love and what you have to look forward to, those are going to be super affordable, and those are also going to be on my Etsy site through February. All right, so guys, and all the usual stuff, PayPal donations, those have been like making my heart feel so big. If you want to go ahead and contribute to the channel, you can do it below. The deck I'm going to be using there is also in the description. And Instagram. These shortened version of these readings are going to be there, as well as a lot of other tarot content and cute pics. So go ahead and check me out there. All right, so last week we started with Taurus. At this point in the reading, you can go ahead and skip to your sun sign, and also I highly suggest looking at your rising sign, because that's going to give you a little bit extra, a little bit more. A lot of astrologers believe that when it comes to horoscopes, your rising sign can actually be more impactful. So make sure you check out your sun and your rising at the very least, okay? So last week we started with Taurus. So this week we're going to go ahead and start with Gemini. So let's see what we've got in store for Gemini for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. What insight, advice, and guidance we have for the sign of Gemini. A little sticky to shuffle here. All right, Gemini, let's see what's going on. Okay, this is so funny because this is the card I pulled today for myself for my daily read. The King of Pentacles. So guys, what this week is showing us, we've been talking a lot about abundance in the past few weeks in the weeklies, and I think that what this week has us focusing on is growing our wealth and growing our financial opportunities. So Gemini, I think right now money's on the mind, right? I think that we have a lot of opportunities to really push forward in our careers. I encourage you guys to also just be very creative about what potential avenues of business you have available to you. Become innovative and start to think about a couple of steps ahead of the competition. What can you put out there into the world that is going to get people's attention? The King of Pentacles is a manifester. He is somebody who knows how to make things out of almost nothing, right? Out of raw materials. So starting off the week with the King of Pentacles, guys, I think we're getting our shit together. This is a lot, I think, to do about like just getting your material house in check, focusing on health and your body. If you're like me, maybe you've been doing a dry January where you're feeling the health effects, you're losing those holiday pounds, that kind of thing. Also just, you know, it is entering tax time. So I'd say be very smart right now about investments and where you're putting your money. Take the time to do a budget, take the time to look at where your money is going and where it's been going, and just make plans, I think, for the future, and just make sure that financially you're very grounded and stable. It looks like a good week for that. And then here we go, Ace of Cups. So Gemini, lately it's been really positive with us, right? There's lots of abundance of opportunities for financial success. There's lots of opportunities for us to be really loved and feeling in a good, warm space. Gemini, you know, we're a sign that I think really thrives on relationships. So whether that's romantic or not, I think the Ace of Cups is here to say that right now your connections to other people, your partnerships, could really be beneficial, I think, to your material well-being, to your financial well-being. So whether that's, you know, just partnering with like a CPA regarding your taxes, or if you're in a partnership or a relationship, I think this is showing that like it's fuel to the fire, right? Sometimes we have a reputation, Gemini, for being non-committal, but I actually think that we do thrive on companionship and partnership. So be very aware this week, Gemini, about who's around you and what they can do to actually help you fill your cup, right? I do think there's a lot of abundance, and I think that more than anything, this is a week of receiving. You know, all the work you've been putting into things, Gemini. Feeling really loved, right? I think that this week you're going to have a lot of fun times with friends and loved ones. I think you're going to feel really connected to your family. And if you are looking for love, you have an opportunity this week to feel it. You know, it might just be going on a date. It might just be, you know, having a flirty time with someone at a bar or something like that. But there's abundance of love. And if you are in a relationship, I think you're going to feel very supported this week. And I think you can kind of consult your partner about like plans for the future and plans for your money, and that could be really beneficial to you this week, Gemini, is like talking to other people about, especially loved ones, about your plans, and really leaning on people a little bit for support in that regard. Do you see what I'm saying? 10 of Cups. So Gemini, like, look at this week we've got ahead of us. Abundance of love, abundance of prosperity, like so many feel-good feelings this week, Gemini. So if you've been struggling with money, I think that this is a week where you're going to see that improve. I think that this week, Gemini, you're going to just be having a lot of fun. For me personally, I'm breaking my sober month at the end of the week. So this is exactly where I'm going to be at, you know. But you know, it's not just about getting drunk and partying. It's about celebrating what I've accomplished, you know. Like this month I put out more content than ever. This month I stuck to sobriety for an entire month, and it's like proud, you know, like drinking every day because we drink to our accomplishments, Gemini. This isn't like just going wild. This is about celebrating life, celebrating your accomplishments, and your friends and your loved ones, like really being there for you. Like for me in the past week, I felt just very connected to a lot of people. People were helping me out financially where I needed it. People were, and on that note, you might be getting some help from somebody this week who's in a position to actually help you financially. But either way, Gemini, it's a week where we're really celebrating our accomplishments and celebrating how far we've gone, and feeling lots of pride in ourselves, and feeling just joy and abundance of life. You see, look, and then at the bottom of the deck we have the Ace of Pentacles. So guys, emotional and I can't hold them all up at the same time. Emotional abundance, physical abundance, right? Like how much better could this be with the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck? We're taking our money super seriously. We're having new streams of income, guys. We're just like making plans and building and planting. You see the way like this is almost like a seed here, and then the way that the Knight of Pentacles, the Prince, King, how it's almost as if like this pentacle is now sprouting up into this flower. So big moves this week, guys, with regards to our career, with regards to our finances, and expect just a lot of pleasure and fun this week, okay? Amazing reading, Gemini. All right, so let's go ahead and move forward. We're gonna go into the sign of Cancer. Let's see what insight, advice, and guidance we have for the sign of Cancer for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. Cancer. All right. Cancer, excellent. Look, again, I just did Gemini, and for you guys, you got the Ace of Pentacles starting out. So again, there's continuing a theme that's been going on in the past few weeks about business opportunities and success in your career and finances. Cancer, this week could see an influx of money. This week could see, you know, if you've done your taxes, you might start to get some of your return. If you've been making plans for new business, it's like things are getting set in motion here, Cancer. I do think that you guys are also thinking about the long term, right? Thinking about a connection with loved ones, thinking about partnerships, and thinking about, you know, the way that, you know, with Cancer, the connection to loved ones and family also is part of the thing that makes you feel secure the same way money does, right? So I think there's going to be an overlap, especially in the beginning of the week, Cancer, with feeling very supported by the people around you and really making long-term plans right now. I think that long-term plans are in your future. You might be considering your long-term career goals. You might be considering about what to do with your money that actually is going to grow it and like is going to build for you. But Cancer, again, continuing what we've seen in the last few weeks with really being powerful with your money and really being creating opportunities for yourself for abundance. I think a lot of this Ace of Pentacles energy is self-created opportunities. So entrepreneurship, working extra hard at work, putting in extra time, you know, that kind of thing. But ultimately, Cancer, I think what this sort of gets at is long-term goals for your career and business, is where you're starting off the week, where your head's at in the beginning. Also, I think that there could be influx of money in some way, shape, or form, right? Three of Swords. So again, continuing what we've been seeing in the last few weeks, Cancer, that there's some emotional turmoil still despite this, right? And what we see here is this focus, right? Almost like the duality, like I was just saying, where you have you know, the need for emotional support and material support. Cancer, this week could see you being a little bit in your feelings, surprise. But all jokes aside, there's a potential here for a little bit of hurt, right? There's a potential here for a little bit of feeling of loss. And this doesn't necessarily mean any bad things, right? What I think that this is actually getting at is, like, as we're moving into a place where you're becoming more financially secure, where you're thinking more about your long-term future, we have some things I think that are going to necessarily have to be let go of, right? Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But it's sort of like what I see with this card right now is a sort of grieving of things that were once really important to you, that provided security and stability. Now there's sort of a movement away from those things, and with that brings, I think, a little bit of heartbreak. With that brings a little bit of a loss of maybe who you once were and who you used to be, of relationships that might have been like really close to you. You might even be having encounters, I think, I don't know where it's come from, but encounters with a former lover or an ex, right, that brings up some sorrow for you, right? This is not necessarily a bad thing, though, because again, what this is almost like a clearing of your heart and a clearing of your energy to prepare you for what's next. Cancer, this is a week where you need to remember that in your pain is strength and growth, and almost like to wear your hardships, your emotional hardships, as like a badge of honor, right? As if like it's like the way they say, like, scars kind of show like how strong you are. Scars show how much you've overcome. I think Cancer this week went with matters of the heart, with matters of, you know, having to move on from certain things in certain ways, especially when it's related to business opportunities and job and financial opportunities, or just at least your long-term goals, right? This could be like you were dating someone and you don't really see a partnership with them long-term, and it brings a little sadness. Again, like, this is toughening you up. This is like something that you're going to be experiencing that kind of reminds you of how far you've come, right? You know, when you see that ex and you're like, you know, thank you next, like Ariana Grande is a Cancer, and it's just sort of a reminder of like of how much the pain has made you grow. So we got this last week for you guys, Cancer, the Eight of Swords. So I wouldn't necessarily take this as a bad thing. I think that with these combination of cards, this is a good week to just sort of retreat. I think this is a good week to take a step back, allow yourself to get clear of any like heartbreak that is being caused to you, right? Allow the feelings, I think this is saying, to pass, because there's a potential here for what you're experiencing emotionally to sort of come down on you and make things heavy and get you in your head and get you in your feelings and get you maybe questioning yourself and doubting yourself. You know, am I making this move? Is this really what I want? Like, the pain could be so much, the sadness of leaving past something leaving something in the past could be like heavy enough that it makes you like question yourself, right? It makes you doubt yourself. But Cancer, for this week, I think that the intention here is or the main focus is your long-term career goals. So this is kind of a week, I think, to put aside feelings, if you will, to retreat if you have to make yourself feel comfortable and safe, to not let, because right now, like, feelings could overwhelm you and overwhelm your heart. You see at the bottom of the deck, Judgment. So what is this all about, Cancer? It's transformation. It's you're moving into a new phase of your life where things that worked for you once before, identities that you used to have, don't serve you anymore. The place where you live maybe doesn't serve you anymore. The job that you have doesn't serve you anymore. And now it's time to move forward. So this is what I was saying this whole time, right? When I was looking at the Three of Swords, it's about movement forward. It's about growth. It's about opportunities that are actually pushing you into the next phase of your life. So while there is some reluctance and some hesitancy and some maybe sadness surrounding letting certain parts of you be part of your past, ultimately what it's about is that we're going into a new phase of life, a new stage of our evolution. So Cancer, you have to like let yourself evolve, not overthink it. Things might hurt a little bit. It might not feel super easy to let go of some parts of who you were, but it's the challenge here this week is to embrace the possibilities of your future and to look at the big picture and realize like that what you have going on for you, the potential of where your life is going right now, is so much more than what you're leaving behind. Okay, great. Cancer, I love it. Let's go ahead and move on to Leo. Let's see what we've got going on for Leo for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. Any insight, advice, and guidance for the sign of Leo? Oh, okay, well, I'll take both of those. Okay, so Leo, these came out together, right? The Two of Wands and the Lovers, they were kind of stuck to each other. So let's take that as we see it, right? Leo, this week is going to be a lot of choices that you have to make, right? The Lovers, some people say, is like choices. It's about harmonizing, but what I think, honestly, Leo, I'm just reading this on surface value, I think that this week is going to have you thinking about your future with regards to your relationships. Some of you might be considering getting serious with somebody that you've been with, right? Or more serious, right? With the Two of Wands and the Lovers, it's like kind of having a heart-to-heart with yourself about what it is that you want and what your future is going to be, and sort of feeling really passionate and excited about the potentials. Leo, this week is going to see you really reflecting on, you know, if you're with somebody, where this is going. What you want to do. Is this someone you want to get married to? Do you guys want to live together? I feel like some of you might be thinking about long-term security with a person. So it's possible that, again, marriage might be a consideration. Living together might be a consideration. If you are single, this is really, I think, about deciding for yourself what you want. And I think some of you are going to decide, if you are single, that now is maybe the time where you're maybe a little ready to get into a relationship. You're ready to date seriously. You're ready to really put yourself out there. This could be that, you know, it's like an initiative that you're taking towards your love life. So this week, Leo, I think is going to see you taking strides and taking big steps towards what it is that you want in your relationship. And I think what this actually does is bring to you a lot of peace of mind and a lot of calm. So if you've been single for a while, you might decide like right now is the time for you to consider a relationship, and that actually makes you feel happy, maybe rather than anxious or, you know, scared about putting yourself out there. Like, this is Leo ready to make a big choice about what they want and feeling secure in that choice and feeling optimistic about the future and feeling really connected. And like, there's a duality here, right? With feeling connected to yourself and sort of that connection to yourself that you've been kind of like nurturing and fostering, enabling you to now consider who else is in your life and what that looks like for you and what your relationships are going forward. So Leo, lots of choices this week about your romantic future. Lots of choices about, you know, in the past we were talking about, excuse me, in the past we were talking about, you know, new financial opportunities, and a lot of that can have you thinking like, you know, am I ready to be a partner to somebody? And for a lot of you guys, I think that this could also be a choice. You know, part of that decision making could just be a choice that you feel really strong and put together as a single individual. Remember how I said about duality, right? You could just be feeling really strong, really independent, really at peace with yourself. I think the name of the game, Leo, no matter what, is peace of mind and peace of heart, and a sort of sense of security with yourself. And then this card just popped out. It wants to talk to you guys, the moon here at the end of the reading. So towards the end of the week, especially Leo, I think this is a time where you're going to want to be with yourself, or be like kind of with yourself. I think that you're going to be spending a lot of like intimate time with another person this week. I think that's a big thing here. I also think, Leo, that you see that smile on the moon's face, what I was saying about peace of mind. If you guys have been feeling a little unsettled in your romantic life, if you've been feeling like a little scattered, you don't know what you want, you don't know if things with your partner are working out too well, or if they have been working out well, this is a week where you get to like be yourself and feel free and feel at peace. I also think here with the moon, Leo, this end of the week could see you maybe even getting a little wild. So it's possible that a lot of you guys will be like, you know, out partying this weekend, or just like doing adventurous things, spontaneous things with the moon. I see this incense. I always like to light the incense, and then it like always like overwhelms my face. A real connection to the bigger part of life, like with the moon. I always feel like this is someone howling at the moon, right? Just getting a little wild, getting a little free, going out and having a good time, just being yourself and enjoying yourself. See, so again, at the bottom of the deck we have the Six of Cups. So and then I just see the correlation between these two cards. It's a time of a lot of joy, Leo. The Six of Cups says that you're kind of ready to give of yourself to others. That I think in this regard, any past baggages that you might have had with regards to relationships, I feel like that load is getting lighter for you guys, right? So if you're in a relationship that hasn't been going so well, and this is a relationship that you want, I think that you are kind of ready to release some of the heaviness and baggage that has been going on for you. If you've been single, I think this is in a big way moving on from your past. So whether you're just carrying past baggage from a relationship, or fear from past breakups, or you know, or just like you know, all around like anxiety about being with somebody, maybe based on something that happened to you in the past. I think this week Leo sees you really moving forward in a big way with regards to your relationship, and really connecting to yourself. And I think like of feeling like in certain ways that your dreams are coming true, that the things that you've hoped for, the baggage that you've maybe carried, the burdens in your subconscious are kind of feeling lighter to me. And this is a good time for you right now to just be joyous and be peaceful with yourself, and be at one with yourself, and see what comes of that with regards to your relationships. Even if that decision is to be on your own, and that makes you feel totally happy, maybe even for the first time in a while, right? You just feel content. Okay. All right. So that was great. Let's go ahead and skip forward to Virgo. Let's see what insight, advice, and guidance we have for the sign of Virgo for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. Virgo. Okay. Virgo, Four of Pentacles. So starting off the week, I think feeling really secure. This is great for Virgo. I think it gives you guys a little peace of mind. I think you feel stable. I think that it feels to you guys right now that things are working out for you in the long term. Your finances could be really good for you this week, like very stable in your finances. I think you could be making long-term plans. I think about how to grow your finances, or even like you know, what to do maybe with a new influx of money, right? Some of you might be thinking about new careers that will bring you more money. Some of you might be feeling influx of money from maybe a new promotion or a new career that is now allowing you to have like, sometimes with the Four of Pentacles we look at it as like miserly miserly energy and holding on real hard to energy, to money. And this week, Virgo, for you, I think that there's actually this joyousness with your money. I think that there's a lot of thought and consideration about what your money can do for you, and like what kind of foundations you can build for yourself with your career and your future. So really growth oriented week, I think, for Virgo with regards to career and finances. Really like building stable foundations. I feel like really feeling strong, really feeling secure, really feeling like maybe for the first time in a long time that you have a clear picture of where things are going for you. You feel really optimistic about your financial prospects, and you know, this week is going to have you like considering, you know, what's next for me, what am I using this for, what am I using this experience to get me going forward, what am I using this money to get me going forward. Four of Pentacles to me right here is all about stability and structure. Three of Swords. So Virgo, you know, I think that there obviously is a sense of sorrow and pain with the Three of Swords. I think that there is, you know, you might experience some hardships in the middle of the week with regards to your emotional well-being and your heart. I feel like something is going to happen like midweek that's going to kind of trigger some emotions for you. So this could be like maybe a fight with a lover or a spouse, or just something that triggers you emotionally, that is going to, it's almost as if like, but you know that feeling, Virgo? It's like you don't have time for this shit, right? I think that you're so in your head about where things are going and the brightness of your future that like some petty shit I think is gonna come up with regards to your work that makes you just feel like undervalued or underappreciated, or even like a significant other or someone you might be dating who just kind of puts you in your feelings and like maybe says or does something that kind of pushes you the wrong way. And Virgo, I think that so far the message here is like, ain't nobody got time for that right now, right? So if you are like in a work situation that's like fucking with your feelings and fucking with your head, the name of the game here is like to focus on the bigger picture and see your way out of it, because I haven't pulled all the cards yet even, but I feel like where this is going is towards growth and expansion, and with regards to your career, right? Now, for some of you with regards to love, in regards to romance, again, you don't have any time for this shit. So there's no place for this right now in your life, Virgo. There's no place for people being petty with you right now. There's no place for sorrow. So think about if this does come up. You see what I'm saying? The Three of Cups. So look at this. Do you, like, I swear, I almost don't even need to always pull the cards to just know what's coming up here. No time for this shit, Virgo, right? With the Three of Cups, there's celebration at hand, there's happiness, there's joy, there's great times with friends, right? There's the support of people who really do care about you. So I think Virgo this week is going to bring a lot of things to light for you with regards to who's important to you and what's important to you. For some of you, that's going to be with regards to your careers. Like my career is not where I want it to be. My boss or my coworkers are fucking douchebags, and they're like picking at me and nagging at me, and the bigger picture here, and some of you that's going to be with regards to your love life, where regards to like, this person is just fucking with my head, they're fucking with my feelings. But at the end of the week, guys, there's partying, there's fun, there's good times with good people. So Virgo, like, again, I'm gonna repeat the fact that ain't nobody got time for bullshit this week with you guys, right? You have so much going for you. You have so much potential for abundance and happiness. You see how your reading is like bookended by these two cards, which is so positive, and then right in the middle is some bullshit, some petty like love shit, right? So some petty like people messing with your feelings. So Virgo, don't let anybody, if you feel this way, look, If you feel this way, Virgo, what did I say about potential? What did I say about the future and where things are going for you? At the bottom of the deck, we have the world. So guys, there's so much more. If you feel this week like things are picking away at you, your self-esteem or your emotions, have faith that there are so many more things going for you well. There's financial stuff going well for you. There's career opportunities and potential for growth in what you're doing, right? And then there's just fun and friends and laughs and good times. So Virgo, a chapter of your life is closing. More so than that, I think that there's potential. Like you're just feeling the potential for positivity right now. You're feeling the potential for growth. You're feeling the potential for where things are going for you, and like you have so many reasons right now, Virgo, to be happy. You have so many reasons to feel fulfilled. You have so many reasons to just like know you're the shit, and like you've been working hard and hustling, and there's things going for you that like the bullshit of what's happening for you right now, or that might like little like insignificant little things that pick at you this week, it's nothing compared to where you're going, and there's nothing compared to what you have in front of you, right? So Virgo, that's really great. Just remember like to keep your eye on the bigger picture, and if anything fucks with you this week, if anything nags at you, or any person nags at you, any situation nags at you, ain't like your motto for the week, Virgo, ain't nobody got time for that, right? Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Libra. Let's see what we've got going on for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. Insight, advice, and guidance for the sign of Libra. Hey, finally, Libra. Finally, we have the sun. So I think that for some of you, what I'm feeling with this is like it's been really rainy, and now like the sun is starting to shine, right? This is like that brightness after a really stormy time, right? So Libra, I think that this week is going to see you kind of, turning around emotionally, and I think a lot of that has to do with the people surrounding you. So simultaneously letting go of certain things, situations, and people who might have been like fucking with you, and then also moving forward towards like people who are supportive and loving. And this deck, I love the design of this deck, because as you see around the sun, you have like these people, and they're kind of all holding hands. So I think part of your joy this week, Libra, is in your connections to people. I think you're going to feel very supported this week. I think you're going to feel very loved. I do feel this possibility, and there's going to be truth, right? Like this is you standing in your truth about your relationships. This is you standing in your truth about yourself, and really coming to a place where I think you're just really comfortable with who you are right now. Your priority right now, more than anything, more than pleasing other people or whatever, is your own happiness and your own joy. So Libra, I think that with this week, it feels like the sun is shining after some cloudy times, right? I feel like there's just happiness to be had. I think that I just did Virgo, and it's sort of similar. Like no one's got time for bullshit this week with you, Libra. You know, in LA, it's really sunny again, and it's like warm and like almost summer. And that just reminded me of like the sun is out. Like how can you feel bad when your body's just soaking up this vitamin D, right? Libra, maybe you should get some vitamin D this week, if you know what I'm saying. But either way, Libra, I'm really happy to see that this week is a turning point for like feeling joy and feeling happiness and feeling comfort. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Excellent. So blessings, Libra. I think a lot of you are going to be feeling really good about your about your careers, about like where things are going for you financially. I think that you're going to be feeling comfortable in your home. I think that what this is to me, Libra, is like a change of attitude and a change of what you're willing to put up with and what you expect and deserve, right? So I think this week, Libra, is going to see you like knowing your worth and knowing what is going for you. You might be making some strides in your finances and in your career. You might just at least be feeling really good, or at least much better about what you do, right? You might be getting some influx of money, and if it's not money, it's at least just like, because with the sun and the 10 of Pentacles, it feels like something has ended that was just weighing on you, right? You have reasons to feel comfort. You have reasons to feel at home with yourself. You have there's just joy here, Libra. There's positivity all around. There's a strong sense of contentment and satisfaction, and it's like Libra's kicking back this week, and it's like, yeah, I'm that bitch. I've been known I'm that bitch, but maybe some things around me and my circumstances have been trying me and testing me, but like, look at this abundance I have around me. Look at this success I have around me. Look at the way I feel optimistic again about my future, and I feel happy, and I feel like I'm capable of just creating whatever the fuck it is that I want from myself, right? Ending out the week with strength. So Leo, I almost said Leo. Libra, well, if you're dealing with a Leo, this could be part of some happiness and some joy that you're feeling with regards to maybe a person in your life who is making you feel really secure and comfortable. If it is a Leo in particular, then that's great for you guys. But for most of you, I think that what this is like, do you see the sense of rejuvenation? Do you see the sense of feeling powerful and feeling good, and now you're just, what did I say about feeling like that bitch? Like, you know you're bad, you know you got your shit together. Like, this week, Libra, I think is a great week for feeling your oats, feeling yourself. And thinking now about what you can do from this place of power. Like, that's what I also want to say here, Libra. Like, feeling so empowered, feeling so like not even in your feelings right now, that it's like no one can stop you, right? You know you know who you are, you know what you're about, you know where you're going, and now it's like you're just overcome. I think, Libra, you're gonna feel like you've overcome a lot of struggles and hardships. I think you're gonna feel like you've overcome some emotional drama that you might have been experiencing, and now this is just you on your own, in your power, regardless of whether you're single or not, like just standing on your own 2 feet and being very oriented about the direction you're going in, and just feeling under control and like in your power. Bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles. So great. So some of you guys, you might be feeling supported by especially like an older male figure. I think that this is somebody who can actually help you. It doesn't have to necessarily be male. I think that some of you might even be experiencing this with females. It could be like a boss figure, I think is what, like if we are talking about work here, a boss figure who could be making you feel very comfortable or secure. This could also be, Libra, just any person who can like be there for you and be supportive of you and give you like a helping hand. You know, right now I'm seeing with the King of Pentacles, like someone who like reaches their hand out and grabs you and pulls you up onto your feet. So I think that you've been experiencing lots of support from people, and that's why we started out the week with the sun, and I said about the support of people around you. You're just feeling strong because of what's around you. And again, Libra, this is also you embodying this energy of the King of Pentacles and just like being ready to manifest and create, being ready to move forward, being ready to, some of you might be entrepreneuring right now. I don't know if that's a verb, but I'm going to make it one. I think some of you could also just be feeling like good about what you're doing, feeling like there's a future in what you're doing. So, you know, even if your work's not great, if you have like a side hobby that you like and feeling progress there, or if your work is like, you could be feeling just very optimistic about your work. You could be feeling like you're in a good place with like your boss, I want to say. Well, for some of you who this is work related, I think you might be feeling in a good place with like management and your bosses this week, and people in higher levels than you, just making you feel really strong and supported and like good about like what you've been doing and who you are and like what you have to offer, right? All right, so Libra, great reading for this week. I'm so happy to see some of the energy turning around for you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and move forward into the sign of Scorpio. Let's see what insight, advice, and guidance we have for the sign of Scorpio for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. Scorpio. Hey, okay, so first card out, 3 of Pentacles. So I think you guys are feeling really creative right now. I think that you are working on projects. I think you're working on really showing up at work too. I feel like this, right? So part of it is going to be a sort of sense of creativity in your own private life. So whether that's actually something that's artistic or just something you're trying to create, something you're trying to build, you're going to start seeing progress there. And you're going to, more than progress, I think you're just going to be feeling really good about what you're doing. You're going to feel like you know yourself. You're going to feel like you know what you're about. Some of you, this could be work projects where you might be getting recognition this week from your jobs. You might be just doing a good job and seeing the payoffs, right? And for others of you who aren't like project oriented, I think this is just going to be feeling good about what your money is doing for you right now, right? Maybe planning a trip, buying yourself something, so you see like the tangible results, basically, is what I'm trying to say, of the work you're doing. But either way, all around Scorpio, the general information here, the generalized summary of this is that this week sees you feeling really good about yourself creatively, and feeling really good about what you're doing and where you're putting your energy, right? With the Three of Pentacles, it's like where you're putting your energy is paying off for you, and you're starting to see right now and feel. I keep on going back to that, right? So no matter what it is that's happening externally, Scorpio, I think that you're going to just be feeling like you're on your shit. You're going to be feeling good, right? You're going to be feeling like you've been doing good work, and you're going to start to see the payoffs. Eight of Swords. So of course with growth comes some questioning, right? I think this came up last week, but again, Scorpio, I think that part of this joyousness that you're going to be feeling is going to make you have to really think. Lately, for me, the Eight of Swords generally means like limitations, right? It generally means how are you holding yourself back? But for me lately, it's been about, especially right now, it's like considering the bonds that you're in, considering the things that you're tied down to, considering the things that you're attached to, and what that does for you. So, or doesn't do for you. So for some of you, part of this joy you feel in the beginning of the week with the Three of Pentacles could spur you to make moves towards other creative projects, right? Or whether this thing that you're doing for a living is actually what is good for you. But I think Scorpio, part of this is, I think, also a little brooding, right? So part of what comes with this happiness and joy regarding like your projects and your material world, your creativity, it does bring a little sadness with it. And this does bring this like almost brooding quality to it. And that's been coming up, I think, for you guys for the past few weeks. And I really think this week, Scorpio, you're going to have to do your best to stay out of your feelings and see the bright side with things. I think that you're going to feel tied down to things you don't want to feel tied down to. I don't think that this is what the limitations you're feeling are totally imagined. Even if you are having good times and being creative and working on side projects, some of you, it might be like your job is draining you a little bit, right? It could be that relationships are sucking the life out of you a little bit. So with this happiness, it reminds me of like how Lady Gaga said a couple of times that she feels like whenever she makes big strides in her career, she loses something she loves. She loses a person that she loves. She loses a relationship. And so that is reminding me of this energy with you guys, where there's this dichotomy of happiness and joy and growth and expansion, but with it almost becomes like a stark reality of other things that don't feel good. Some of you guys just might not be feeling good about your relationship. Some of you guys, you see being in your feelings, the High Priestess, being in your head. There are things that you guys, we talked about this a little last week, but I think there's like heart-to-hearts, Scorpio, that you're going to have with yourself about the direction you're going. And the High Priestess is asking you to really look within and to really, both of these cards, right? And in the Eight of Swords, you have someone who's blindfolded. So you're thinking, you're contemplating, you're really considering, Scorpio. The downside of this, I think, is that part of the reason you're in this place of thought is potentially because things might have not been going so well for you, or there are things that are triggering you that kind of are saying like, this happened with Cancer, so I'm guessing there might be a continuation with the water signs, where you have this success and this growth, but in that growth are things that are being brought up that are making you kind of have to think about, I'm feeling this joy and I'm feeling this happiness, and then there's this other little naggy fucking thing that is picking at me, and now what do I do with that? Now how do I handle it? Do I stay attached to this thing, or do I consider about where I'm going? So Scorpio, you guys are super intuitive and super in touch with, like, you know, your subconscious minds, and the High Priestess asks you to focus on that intuition and to think about, like, you're getting a lot of cues right now this week about where things are going for you, what no longer serves, having to make some choices, having to tap into the things in yourself, like your creativity, your passions, and you be your own guide this week about where things are going for you and how to move forward. At the bottom of the deck, we have Seven of Swords. So a lot of bullshit, Scorpio, a lot of nagging stuff, like if you're killing it at work, if you're killing it in your creative life, you could be going through some bullshit with loved ones, you could be going through some bullshit with friends, right? There's this element here with the Seven of Swords underlying everything. At the bottom of the deck, we have this just difficulty with other people, and maybe some lying, maybe some deception, that is making you kind of get in this place now where you're kind of like, what am I doing? What is this person doing? Why are they making me feel this way? Why am I in this situation that with these people who are kind of like taking away my power and kind of making me question myself and question what's real and question what's, you know, what's right for me? So Scorpio, ultimately this week, if you are getting in your feelings about certain things, if some things are bringing you down, the point here is that not to just sulk, but the reason it's getting you down is because it's almost like, to me, a cue from the universe that this is not right for you. So you have to think this week about, you know, we always talk about anger being healthy, right? You have to let it out. You have to be angry at certain people. It helps you to establish boundaries. It helps you, like, you know what's good for yourself. But sadness is also very instructive, and sadness is very healthy, as long as you let yourself feel it in a way that doesn't overwhelm you. So Scorpio, sadness right now, anything that puts you in your feelings, is kind of a cue that something is not right and something needs to be changed, and you need to think this week about anything that makes you feel sadness is something that you know, your higher self is telling you, bro, yeah, this has to be addressed and you have to fix this, and it's not for your well-being, and it's just not going well for you, right? You're not gonna grow, you're not gonna accomplish what you want with this little nagging thing at you, okay? All right, so cool, Scorpio. Let's go ahead and move into the sign of Sagittarius. Let's see what we've got going on for Sagittarius for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. Oh, I feel already fire, optimism, passion. Let's see, guys. Hey. Fire, optimism, passion. Like, we're starting out this week, Sagittarius, with your card. Temperance is the card of Sagittarius, and it embodies all of those things like optimism and healing and passion and movement, right? So when we have the card that represents you, this is you guys being in your power and feeling all the greatest things about what it means to be a Sagittarius, right? Feeling optimistic and hopeful and balanced and secure. So normally, I think with Temperance, what it says to me is that, you know, you're kind of in a place where you're collecting yourself and healing and balancing things out and figuring out where you are and what you're about. But I actually think that Temperance now, to me, is looking like, you know, the last moment before you're ready to move forward. If you see in the distance how there's that mountain with the crown, I think that this week Sagittarius is going to see you ready to make moves. I think that you guys have been healing, you have been collecting your energies, you have been working on yourself, working on your passions, and now this is showing me that you're ready for your next step. You're feeling balanced, you're feeling secure, you're feeling in touch with yourself and in touch with what you want. There you go. Hey, the World. So you feel, I love this for you guys. The world, and again, Jupiter is the ruler of the world, and Jupiter is your sun, is the ruler, your ruling planet, guys. So Sagittarius energy on top of Sagittarius energy in your reading. The world is abundance. The world is success. Am I getting that right? Let's just go with it. Forget Jupiter, because I actually think Jupiter might rule the Wheel of Fortune. So if I got that wrong, I apologize. I think I might have mixed it up. I think I want to say Pluto is the ruler of the world, because it rules like deaths and anyway. Either way, Sagittarius, no matter what fucking planet rules the world, the point is here that you're brimming with potential. You're ready for what's next. That things are happening for you guys that are future oriented, right? You've been, again, with the world, you see how she has the baby in the belly and it's like ready to pop, and then there's this like spiral coming out of her vajayjay. It's like what's been happening, the healing you've done, the work you've been doing on yourself is now ready to be shown to the world, and you're now ready to move forward into being a different person. You're ready to close a chapter of your life with these two cards together. You're ready to close a chapter of like the way you've been, the way you felt about yourself, your identity, right? Like what you've allowed into your life. Sagittarius this week has you like really being ready to move forward. I feel some of you might even be thinking about pregnancy or having a child, but either way, guys, big movement for you this week, big steps towards accomplishing. I think that also with regards to like some of you with regards to your career, and I think some with regards to your romantic relationships, there's something ending. So for some of you, that's going to be letting go of somebody. For some of you, that's going to be your relationships actually moving to the next stage. So whether that's marriage or childbearing or whatever it is, you know, there's such a feeling here of progress and growth and the next steps for you, right? And then Two of Cups. So moving towards love and intimacy. Again, I swear some of you Sagittariuses might be getting be very careful, Sagittarius, if you're not trying to get pregnant, is what I'm trying to say, because there's potential here for just for growth and romance and sexiness. And with the Two of Cups, you're coupling, you're some of you best be watching out. I swear, I think Nicki Minaj is either, she's a Sagittarius, right? And this reminds me of her because I'm pretty sure she's either pregnant right now or getting, or about to be. Mark that down as a little prediction there, right? But this week, guys, it's about love, it's about connection, it's about partnership. So some of you might be getting into new relationships or meeting somebody who feels like things are going forward, right? Where you're maybe now like even moving away from an ex because now you're like, you see what you really want from a person. You see like somebody actually giving you something that is of substance as opposed to what you've experienced before. And if it's happening for you, it's because you're ready for it and you've been making the moves that you need to make. Sagittarius, joy and happiness here. What the way things have been. So it doesn't matter because Jupiter is here anyway, whether it's fucking the world or the Wheel of Fortune, guys. Sag energy on Sag energy. What? And then on top of that, look at all these cards of moving forward, of changing in your status, of optimism and faith, and just like abundance. And now I'm pretty confident that Jupiter rules the Wheel of Fortune. I have to remember what the world rule. I want to say Pluto, but don't hold me to that. I have to. Anyway. Excuse me. So the Wheel of Fortune. Guys, at the end of this is things are turning in your favor. Emotional hardships are fading out. financial hardships, uncertainty about what you're doing or where you're living or where your career is going, are you can say sayonara to that shit this week, Sagittarius, and welcome like newfound feelings of happiness and joy and sense of self and security, and that now also, you know, could potentially lead to relationships and dating and meetings. I think some of you are going to meet somebody new this week. I think some of you are going to feel just really connected to somebody that makes you feel intimate. There's intimacy here, this connection. Right? So that's all I have to say about that, Sagittarius. Let's go ahead and move forward into the sign of Capricorn. Let's see what we've got, insight, advice, and guidance we have for the sign of Capricorn for the week of January 28th to February 3rd, Capricorn. Queen of Wands. Okay, cool. So Capricorn. Last week we talked about resting and giving yourself like space to be yourself and to have time. And now I think you guys are feeling very strong. The Queen of Wands says that this week is going to show you feeling very in your power, feeling very attractive. I feel like it's Capricorn's energy this week. Feeling very on top of yourself at work, feeling like you're just doing all the right things and making the right moves, and like now abundance, attraction, prosperity is kind of coming your way this week. I think Capricorn is going to feel brave. Capricorn's going to feel really cheery. Capricorn is going to feel you know, this could be the payoff of the work you've been doing, but I think a lot of it, honestly, guys, is not work oriented. It is personal. The Queen of Wands does represent wands itself often represent business and career aspirations. So if there is growth in that regard, which I think could be the case, but then that applies. But more so, even if that is the case, I think that this is personal, right? So whether it's you're feeling yourself at work, you're feeling yourself in all these realms, it's a real personal feeling, Capricorn, of having overcome things and feeling strong and feeling safe and feeling powerful. I think Capricorn is feeling ferocious, feeling like you guys are ready for what's next, feeling really like loved, right? Feeling really supported, feeling like you're on the right path of what you want to accomplish. With regards to love also, so both of these together, you know, the Lovers does represent actual love, but it also represents a sense of homeness or in yourself, right? To feel a connection to yourself, balance within. So Capricorn, I think this is a big week of feeling personal accomplishments, personal development. And I think some of you will be getting feeling very close if you're in a relationship, particularly feeling very close with a spouse or a loved one this week, feeling very supported, feeling really like you know, like you're in a good place where things are feeling balanced and secure. Capricorn, I think that, you know, this week you're going to be feeling the love and feeling you know, so the single Capricorns out there might be having some fun flirty time. Too many cards. Well, let's just take a quick look at it here, right? We'll wrap this up this way. We have Judgment, the Emperor, and the Hierophant. So talk about big moves in your career, right? Especially with these two guys. This is leveling up. This is moving forward. So some of you guys might be getting acknowledgments at work this week. Some of you might be just recognizing that it's time to maybe move on from what you're doing, and maybe even getting actual other job offers this week, Capricorn. But whatever it is, you're moving forward in a powerful way, and you're really feeling connected to what you want to do for a living. And I think this week, guys, is going to see you a great balance here of connection to loved ones and spouses, and also connection to yourself and connection to what you're doing. Connection this week, Capricorn, right? With Judgment, again, we're moving towards a new place in our life, right? So this is sort of like releasing what was, having your eyes on where you're going and what's making you feel powerful and climbing the ladder, right? And then what institutions are going to make you feel that way. So Capricorn, this week, really consider your career, your future in your career, right? Where are things going? Where do you want to end up? And I think you're going to see strides made towards it this week. At the bottom of the deck, we see Seven of Wands. I think Capricorn feeling really strong and powerful. I think feeling just like you can overcome anything, right? So we're starting off with Wands and we're ending with Wands. A lot of passion and power for Capricorn this week. A lot of sense of nothing holding you back. Nothing and nobody holding you back. So a lot of you guys are just ready to make moves. A lot of you guys are ready to let go of stuff that's been holding you down, and things like that. All right. Okay. So we're moving on now to Aquarius. Let's see what insight, advice, and guidance we have for the sign of Aquarius for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Prince of Wands. So I think this is going to have you guys feeling in your mojo a little bit this week. Starting off with the Prince of Wands, I think we're looking at a real vibrancy, a real like optimistic attitude, a real kind of like feeling yourself. So I think that Aquarius might have been having a couple of accomplishments recently. Feeling like really good, Aquarius, about what you've been doing. Feeling really good about like who you are, and like more so than who you are, about what you've been accomplishing. Some of you guys are going through your birthdays right now, which makes me feel like you're just in like a very festive mood. You're really just feeling confident, I think, and powerful about what it is that you're doing with your life. Feeling really like future and business oriented. Yeah, because and pop out next we have the King of Wands. So two wands, two very powerful wands, court cards coming out right in the beginning of your reading, Aquarius. We have the Prince of Wands representing kind of like a movement forward, and then the King of Wands with like this laser focus, this powerful willpower. So I think also what's going on here, Aquarius, is that there's a real sense of growth in what you're doing. There's a real sense of like looking at your life right now, which is common for your birthday. You kind of do some reflection, right? Looking at your life, looking at your achievements and your accomplishments, and kind of feeling like you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing for yourself. And now more than ever, you know what you need to do. You know where the direction, your energy of your hustle is going. Aquarius, I think a big week for not relationship, career growth, career aspirations. There might be situations that make you feel as though what you've been doing is paying off now. What you've been doing is gaining you recognition. Lots of positive energy here, lots of just like optimism, lots of hope, lots of passion, lots of fire, with the King of Wands and then the Prince of Wands. I also think that some of you guys this week might be experiencing support from someone who kind of does what you want to do. So I think actually some of you might be getting hired or looking for new career business opportunities, and this week sees like people supportive of you and people recognizing what you're doing. It's almost as if like you have somebody who kind of does what you do or is interested in the thing you do, or who does and who sees like you are like a young up and coming start to them. So Aquarius, with regards to your jobs and your career, I think that this week sees you making big advances and big strides and experiencing, I think, help from people who are willing right now to give you a leg up. And so the King of Wands simultaneously represents you having that focus and that drive, but then also someone else who is in a more powerful, strong position, recognizing that quality in you and kind of giving you the leg up that you need, I think, to make big moves forward. And to again, I think that there's going to be some hiring this week with some Aquariuses. I think some of you guys are going to be thinking about your long-term career goals. Ten of Pentacles. So for a lot of you guys, I think that some of you will actually be moving into new jobs this week. I think that some of you are going to feeling supported by other people. I think that with the Ten of Pentacles coming up here at the end of the week, Aquarius is really on their shit. Aquarius is collecting money, making money. I think Aquarius is also thinking about the next step in their business, in their careers, right? How do we elevate this? I've made some strides, right? I've almost like accomplished this stage of being like young and ambitious and fiery and wanting it, right? And now I'm feeling here, right? Now I'm feeling ready to like, you know, where am I gonna live also is what I feel, right? So some of you guys are gonna be thinking about your futures in terms of living situations and what makes you feel comfortable in the home environment. And then I think some of you guys are actually moving to a place of greater prosperity and greater motion. So this could be hired for a gig. This could be you guys even looking for jobs or interviewing for jobs that are gonna like give you the validation, the recognition of for what you've been working towards. Yeah, the bottom of the deck is Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles is about you being creative and putting yourself out there and your stuff being recognized and seen. So Aquarius, I think this is going to be a week where you start to like reap the rewards of the work you've been doing. You're going to feel super creative. You're going to feel super inspired. You're going to feel very passionate about what you do and what you want to do. And then this week I see opportunities, lots and lots of business opportunities, lots of career opportunities, lots of looking up and looking forward and seeing like, what do I want to accomplish? I also do think with the Ten of Pentacles, some of you are going to be considering your living situations. So for some of you, this could be moving. This could be like the leveling up element of this could be being ready to buy a house or being ready to like get a better apartment or something like that, right? So Aquarius, big move, big month of week rather of just leveling up and moving forward and being like really strong and powerful and knowing what you want and people recognizing your potential and people recognizing your skill and your talent and what you've been working towards, right? All right, so let's go ahead and move forward into Pisces. Let's see what energy, what insight, advice, and guidance we have for the sign of Pisces for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Okay. All right, Pisces, Princess of Swords. So I think a lot of you are learning kind of like a new way of being in the world. I think this week is going to see you guys, like to me, the Princess of Swords is always someone who's like learning how to wield that sword, right? So to me, what I feel when I see this is that for a lot of Pisces this week, you're going to be feeling like you're in a new place in your life where almost like you have to kind of learn how to wield maybe a sort of power that you've gained or communicate in a way that feels stronger. Some of you guys might have been communicating, expressing yourself. The Princess of Swords is a messenger, right? She's the energy of communication, and she's the energy of someone who's like just trying things out and ambitious and like pushing themselves forward and communicating and you know learning how to be sharper, learning how to express themselves with the Princess of Swords, right? So some of you guys might be, especially in the beginning of the week, embracing this energy where now you're speaking openly about things that have been bothering you. You've been speaking openly about some necessary conversations that need to be had with some people, and also with the Princess of Swords, I think it's cutting free of some of you guys are going to be cutting yourself free of ways of being and relationships that don't serve you anymore, right? Of releasing anything that was making you feel heavy, anything that was making you feel like not yourself. We're moving towards your season this month, guys, and I think that what's happening is that you're getting into a place of power, and what worked for you before might not serve you anymore, and you're outgrowing not only like certain situations and people, but more so just a way of being and a way of expressing yourself. Five of Wands, and of course with that comes conflict, right? With that become like this is the budding of egos going on here, right? This is you know, Pisces, you might be expressing yourself and some people might not really be liking it, right? Some people might be fighting you back. Some people are going to make you feel as if like you're the person who has the problem, right? Or something's wrong with you, Pisces. Either way, like I think that there is going to be a wall that you guys hit this week with regards to your dealings with other people. So whether it's actually conversations that initiate difficulties, or just like some of you might be trying to like grow in what you do for a living and grow in your careers and grow in your aspirations and thinking really strongly about the future and what it is that you want to accomplish. And then like as you're doing that, hitting roadblocks with the Five of Wands and hitting these speed bumps basically, that with other people, and not really quite gelling too well with other people around you, maybe feeling a little out of sorts with your job situation, feeling a lot out of sorts with you know, maybe romantic situations that you might have been going with. Lots and lots of conflict, Pisces, but the message here so far, I think, with the Princess of Swords is that this is just the beginning of you figuring yourself out and figuring out who you are now, and figuring out you know, what it is about you that you need to express, and so this is just the first step, I think, on a long journey. And so if you met with conflict this week, if you're met with difficulty with other people this week, if you're met with confrontation, if you're met with fighting, the message here is to power through it, not necessarily to force yourself to not really force yourself onto people necessarily, but again, how I said, like, that princess is learning how to use that sword, learning how to cut through conflict, learning how to get along with people, get along with situations, overcome this, right? There's an element here of persistence. There's an element here of sort of you know, ignoring things that pop up in your way, ignoring people who are pushing back at you, because it's almost like it's like so insignificant, Pisces, in the long term. It feels like anything that's happening that is causing you conflict right now, my sense is like it's not even going to exist in the near future. It's not even going to like it's not worth getting yourself twisted out of shape, because that person you might be fighting with might not even be a part of your life in the near future, right? There's job situation that you're maybe having conflict with. You're not even gonna have to worry about it anymore, because things could change. Things could change like in a way that it doesn't even matter. So Pisces, here we have the sun closing out your week. So you see what I mean? Like, after this conflict comes happiness. So this is all at once, like a sense of joy with yourself, a sense of accomplishment. I know I have some Pisces friends who are doing Sober January with me, and the end of the week, the sun is joy and happiness, guys. We're partying, we're having a good time. But it's not just about like going out and having fun. It's about celebrating our accomplishments, right? Because with the sun, there's just all around joy, there's happiness, there's the sun represents Leo, and it's pride, right? It's success, it's feeling like. So look, we have these two cards where all at once you have conflict, insignificant, like the Five of Wands is pettiness, right? The Five of Wands is just egos clashing, right? It's nothing to really, even if it gets you out of sorts and riles you up and makes you feel angry, it fizzles out. It's not something that's like long lasting. It's petty bullshit. But Pisces, in the end, you're winning the war, right? Even if you're fighting battles, you're winning the war. And the war is, what does they say? The best revenge is success. The best revenge is happiness. So if you overcome this shit, Pisces, if you focus on your happiness and be optimistic and have fun and enjoy life, right? The sun is about enjoying life and standing in your truth and knowing that no matter what happens with some of this bullshit, you're right and you're doing what's right for you, and you're being honest and you're being truthful to yourself, and this week wraps up with Pisces feeling just bright and strong and radiant is what I want to say, right? Just fucking radiant. Look at the bottom of the deck. We have the Queen of Cups, and this is representing you guys. This is representing you guys. Look at those little fishies, right? We have Pisces right here in this card. So Pisces, this week is going to wrap up with you feeling intuitive. Like, what's happening here is that you're coming into your power. You're feeling emotionally balanced. You're feeling in touch with your intuition and in touch with your emotions and in touch with who you are and in touch with other people in the best way possible. This is very nurturing energy. This is very loving energy. So everything you're doing is coming from a place, even if you're expressing yourself in a way that people don't take well, it's coming from a place of love, and it's coming from a place of compassion and empathy and understanding of other people. And again, I want to emphasize the intuitive part of this, right? Like anything that you've been doing right now, Pisces, is coming from you knowing what's right and you knowing knowing like yourself, and you knowing the situation, what's going on around you, knowing people, and knowing that like you can feel comfortable this week, Pisces, that even if there's some bullshit you're dealing with, that what you're doing is pure. What you're doing is from a place of love, even if it's just love for yourself, right? Which is most important here, right? Not bending over backwards for other people's bullshit, but being very solid in you. I love this, Pisces, because last week I know the cards were a little rough, right? Anyway, so let's go ahead and move forward into Aries. Let's see what insight, advice, and guidance we have for the sign of Aries for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. Aries, Aries, Aries. Thank you for Aries. Oh, okay. So Aries, we're starting off the week with the Tower, and what this is telling me, you know, last week we talked about like not taking it. Oh, I kind of like the way you see my painting, and then the starburst almost of the card. Cute. Aries. So with the Tower starting off the week, guys, it could be a little bit of a rocky start, but this is like things that you can't ignore anymore, right? This is things we talked a lot last few weeks about honesty and being like truthful about what your situation, where things are going. So Aries, this week is going to see things come tumbling down, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be super negative, guys, because with the Tower we get more in touch with the truth, we get more in touch with honesty. I can't help but feel, Aries, just like brace yourself, because some things are gonna hurt, right? Even if it's just a little emotionally. I feel like you guys might be feeling a little disappointed in the start of the weekend, or maybe a little let down, and almost what the Tower is to me is like maybe there's some places in your life where you're fighting losing battles, where you're trying to hold on to things that are just rocky, right? This is like somebody, the Tower is crumbling all around them, but they're still trying to get to the top, and they're like scrambling to try to put little pieces here back, and it's like almost it's almost like a little I feel like a little sadness, right? Because there's just this like earnestness and this like desire to make things okay and make things good and make things better, whereas like Aries, I think the universe is signaling to you right now that there are some things that it doesn't matter how hard you try to keep them together, they just have to be let go of. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I think that you guys know, watching this, that's where my sense is here, right? That you see the little eye at the top of the Tower. It's as if like what's happening to you, you've already known is bad, right? You already know that this Tower that you've been standing on is pathetic, and it's falling apart, and you know it, and it's crumbling, and like the Tower falling down now is no surprise to you, right? But it's almost as if like you need this push to just say, this isn't working, I can't do this anymore. What if it's a relationship or a job or something in your circumstances that is just you're hitting a wall now, and there's nothing you can do to win here, Aries. We have the Five of Swords. So I'm sorry to say this is going to be a little bit of a tough week, right? But coming right off the bat, guys, it's a week that no matter what, and I think this is why I've been trying to tell you guys to focus on your honesty and focus on what's real. When we did the monthlies and stuff, this was a big theme for you guys, to be honest with yourself, because now you know what's happening. You don't have any fucking choice, Aries. So if you've been like ignoring that shit, if you've been like, oh, I know this, but blah blah blah, like now this week is saying, it's a little bit of a dose of hard medicine for you guys, and don't thumbs down my video if this is hitting you, right? Like, because what I do here, I'm trying to be real with you guys, right? Like if you want fluff, like go somewhere else, right? I try to be uplifting and inspiring as much as I can, but ultimately what we're doing here is a reading, right? I'm not a pastor here to like I try as much as I can to uplift you spiritually, but what I'm here to do is tell you the truth of your situations and tell you where you need to put your energy, right? And it is out of love and protection for you. So Aries, do brace yourself this week for conflict. do brace yourself this week for feeling like you're hitting walls in certain things, and feeling like it's almost like not that you guys did anything to deserve it, but it's almost karmic in a way where there's nothing you could do to avoid this, right? If this is Saturn energy and this the tower is ruled by Mars, which is your ruling planet. So this is like chaos that's actually good for you, that's actually shaking things up, that's saying, what the fuck am I doing? Right? What am I doing with this person? What am I doing with this job? I think for a lot of you, it's going to be those two things particularly, right? What am I doing with this person? What am I doing with this job? So there's kind of nothing for you to do right now, Aries, other than kind of try to weather it. Shit. I think that for some of you guys, it's going to feel really, it's going to hurt. And that's why I just said, like, I'm afraid it's going to hurt. And things are going to feel really tough. So Aries, this week, you know, I'm not seeing this yet, but I feel like something will come up. Be very in touch with the people who love you. Surround yourself with supportive energy, because I think you're really going to need it. I think that some hard stuff is going to happen some hard stuff is going to happen that is going to shake up your world. But at the end of it, you see what I'm trying to say, Aries, the Wheel of Fortune, rounding up the week. So whatever happens, whatever is letting you know that things are no longer working, there's almost going to be this sense of relief with these things falling apart. There's going to be this sense of okay, now like I'm in a mode for abundance. Now I'm ready to receive great things. I had all my crops eaten up, but you know what? Those crops weren't good anyway, and I know that those haven't been selling in the market anymore. So now I have an opportunity to actually grow things that work. Right? I have an opportunity to really stand in what is true and what is real for me and what is going to create a great future for me. So the Wheel of Fortune, guys, is a promise that after all this turmoil, going into next week and going into just because the Wheel of Fortune is just the beginning of change, right? It's saying that the wheel is turning in your favor, right? Sometimes the wheel is bringing you up from a high place to a low place, but I think that what this is actually doing is saying that you're going to feel like the winds of change, right? You're going to feel this week, I think, Aries, is going to be transformative, and it's going to be, fuck. Bottom of the deck, guys, is the Five of Cups. So remember what I said about it's going to hurt a little bit? This is the card of things hurting. But what this is that, like, what's leading up to all this is that you guys have been not feeling right. You've been feeling a little off in certain regards. You've been feeling a little sad. You've been feeling a little like feeling a little lonely, feeling a little hard to see the bright side of things, right? And this is what I meant when I said that the things that fall away are going to be what's necessary, and you're going to know what it is. Like, there are things, Aries, that are going to be, that have been weighing on you for a while now. Things that your subconscious, your red flags that have been all around you for the longest time. And now you have no choice with the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower. This is the universe taking things out of your hand. This is the universe saying, Aries, get the fuck away, pushing you out of your own way and saying, I'm going to take care of this shit for you, since apparently you can't take care of it for yourself. Even if it's not like fateful stuff, this is getting to a breaking point. And that's not a bad thing, because again, the Wheel of Fortune brings promise of better things, right? So Aries, a little bit of a tough week here, but again, like, you know why these things are happening, because for a while you've been feeling this, and you've been feeling pain, and you've been feeling hurt, and you've been kind of like, it's been a struggle to see the bright side of things. And now this week you hit a wall where you don't have any choice, right? It's almost gonna feel like my whole future, my whole happiness, my love, everything that I value about myself, my ego, my sense of self, just are not working anymore. I mean, rather, the things are not working anymore, and those things, my ego, my sense of self, are so important, and I can't put that aside anymore. I can't put aside my happiness. It feels this week, Aries, like your happiness and your future is at stake, and you have to just go with the flow of things that are going to fall out of favor with you, and things that are going to hurt and break and fall apart, and you just have to let them this week, Aries. You just have to let things that are not working die. You have to let things that are, you know, for the longest time have not been working, falling out of favor. All right, so last but not least, let's get into Taurus. Let's see what's going on for Taurus for the week of January 28th to February 3rd. And right off the bat, Taurus, I love this for you guys. We have the Four of Pentacles. So it's a common theme right now with Earth signs where you guys are in your feelings in a good way, like feeling yourself. The Four of Pentacles means that you guys have been feeling some material success, and you guys have been feeling some abundance. And you feel like now, I think, Taurus, you feel like a way. I think we did in the monthly reading, like, where do we go from here? And I think towards this month, you're going to be seeing yourself, this week, you're seeing yourself kind of, the path is starting to become clearer, let's put it that way, right? You have this strong foundation, you have this strong network of people, you have things that you've been building forward, and now I think what's going to be going forward here, we'll see what other cards come up, but I think for this week it's about moving forward, and I think it's about standing on this really strong platform, standing on this really strong foundation that you've created, and I think, again, there's a lot of networking here, not typical thing with the Four of Pentacles, but that's just what I'm getting here. And there's networking available to you. There are people who you surrounded yourself with who are making you feel strong and making you feel really put together, and actually are creating more opportunities for you, and more opportunities for career growth and expansion more than anything. That's what I feel is like you guys are on a platform that you've been building, and now this week is giving you opportunities to just escalate even further. What's bigger, what's better, what's we say, like in my meditations, my guide always says, all of this or something even better. You know what I mean? And that's what this week is, Taurus. All of this or something even better. Are we in our power, Taurus? A Hierophant. Your card, the card that represents you guys. So once again, look at that bull. Like he's powerful, he's strong. You guys are in your strength this week. You guys know what you're about. You guys are making slow and steady progress towards your dreams, towards your goals, towards your accomplishments. And want to talk about elevation, right? I even pulled this card before I was saying it with the Four of Pentacles. The Hierophant is all about leveling up. The Hierophant is all about strength in institutions. He's about moving forward, climbing the ladder, getting yourself into positions of power and influence, but all rooted in your experience, and all rooted in the work that you've done, and the knowledge that you've acquired, and the connections you have. Like the Hierophant is a pope, and the pope has to be somebody. Remember I said networking, right? The pope is somebody who kind of gets elected into that office. He gets chosen to be the pope. So you can't just be a person of strength and knowledge and power without actually having these strong connections with people who are actually going to be the ones to put you in those positions of power. So Taurus, this week I think is going to see networking opportunities pay off for you, and maybe new gigs coming your way, new jobs coming your way, new financial opportunities coming your way, or even just support that pulls you out of maybe a place where you've been a little stuck, and there's just momentum, there's movement, there's happiness. 10 of Cups, guys. So a strong connection to family this week, strong connection to joy and celebration. You want to talk again about networking, right? Friends who just make you feel good, joy and happiness, and just living your best life. So there could be very literally here for you guys, celebrating promotions, celebrating accomplishments, being at parties, being with friends and family who make you just feel like your best self, and now there's just an abundance of happiness. There's an abundance of, I've been doing all this work, I've been moving into a place of strength, I've been connecting with myself, I've been developing myself, I've been growing as a person, and now my goals, what I'm moving towards is happiness, what I'm moving towards is joy, what I'm moving towards is, I think some of you might be literally partying this weekend, whether that's out at bars or like at a family function or a friend's celebration or something like that. At the bottom of the deck, we have Two of Wands. So what's underlying all this is you guys have been, Taurus has been preparing, Taurus has been thinking, Taurus has been making, has been coming up with new ideas and getting in touch with what it is that you want, and really thinking about what it is that you want, and getting clear on what your passions are, and getting clear on the direction that you see for yourself. And so Taurus, like what this is, again, all a culmination of all the great work you've been doing, of all the thinking you've been doing, of all the planning you've been doing, of all the connecting to others that you've been doing, of all the opportunities that you've been taking advantage of to further yourself. And I think that this week sees a big culmination of like, literally, I think that there's going to be like material, physical, tangible opportunities and things that happen this week that say, I'm ready for the next level. I'm ready to build and like having things come your way, especially possibly through support of other people and support of loved ones. All right, guys, that's a wrap for your weeklies. I'll talk to you next week. You take care. Bye-bye.